Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Bryce Koon. We appreciate you tuning in, and we want to talk to you a little bit about college football tonight. Fall camp storylines, that and more on tonight's episode of The Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.
Welcome in. My name is Bryce Koon. We welcome you back in to another edition of The Crowded Booth, kind of that new Crowded Booth college football show live time frame, right, guys? Thursday night, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We'll be kind of previewing the week that is during this time of the year. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. My name is Bryce. That's Ralph. That's Will. This should sound a lot better, by the way, because I selected the mic instead of just going off the MacBook audio, which Ralph was struggling with the other day. Ralph, your mic's good, though, right? You're good to go.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Will, remember when Will had that spell where his mic just wouldn't even show up, and he almost crashed out?
Oh, I mean, I did crash out on Tuesday.
Yeah, we saw, and we were well aware in the background of the show watching you go through what you had to go through.
Well, the thing is, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So
we're going to talk a lot about that tonight, specifically with one team. Yeah, no, this is actually a new mic, by the way. New mic arm. Nice little table stand here. And there we go. Let's get some Ralph ASMR. I would rather not. Will, you need to address this. Joe the Pilot's wondering, are you getting a new computer?
Yes, I'm getting one on Saturday.
Let's go.
What are you rolling
I hope
with?
It works.
What are you rolling with?
The new MacBook Air with the M4 chip.
Mac. There we go.
So for those that don't know, Will kind of got frustrated because you had an older MacBook Air, right?
Older with the cheapest probably computer hardware that they had at the time.
Like Windows 6.
I don't know if it was that. It wasn't that
iOS.
old.
It'd be iOS, wouldn't it?
No, it's Windows.
It wasn't that old.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Ralph, you've got the MacBook Pro, right?
I do. Had a thing for 5 years now, I think.
This is year 4 of my MacBook Air, little M1 chip action. It's getting up there. I told the wife, I said, next big purchase for me is going to be a MacBook Pro.
You told me last time it was be a new car.
I just don't feel like I need a car.
You
That's
said you were
my
going to get a different vehicle. Is what you told me last time your next big purchase.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but it's like I don't really need it. I mean, I'm this close to having my car paid off.
I mean, based on the content you're putting out on Bengal Tiger, you would lead people to believe you're homeless.
Where should we record from tomorrow, by the way?
I gave you an idea, and you didn't listen to me.
Just go to Mike the Tiger's cage.
Look, hey, Bryce,
Okay,
look at the comment I have starred real quick.
Yeah, I'm not doing it on the pod.
You and Bruni in the bathroom together like a stall?
Yeah, that's something. I will. You mean text him, see if he'll come on the show and just talk about it? I do want to put it out there because this is intriguing. There's a lot of good spots on campus to do it. I did try to pitch to him idea that we sit on top of Mike the Tiger.
Oh.
Not the actual tiger, the bronze statue, and we do the podcast.
But is that like a sacred item at LSU? You
don't No. I mean, we tried to sit Addie on top of it, and she kind of got freaked out. But then she'll walk around Mike the Tiger's habitat and growl at him. So that's something no joke. We'll go it's. I mean, she wouldn't even be an appetizer, to be honest with you. So that's what that is. All right, before we get into the thick of things, during Will's sabbatical from the show, Ralph and I used to do this kind of question of the day. We brought it back there. And we brought it back with Will a little bit too. And Ralph and I really kind of did appetizers. Remember that, Ralph, when we kind of talked about what's the best appetizer together? Yeah.
An appetizer.
But I wanted to bring back question of the day, right? And so what we're going to do is I'm going to start it off to this week. And then every single, I'm going to get a haircut, don't worry. But every single week, The viewers are going to nominate the question of the week, and we are going to then answer the question of the week. So today, this is a big one. Now, Ralph and I kind of cheated because we talked about this earlier. Also, Saul's barbecue fried pickles are absolutely freaking amazing. I'll be in Birmingham in November. Will you have any choice in the world? And you're like, man, I'm craving a pizza. What is the ultimate crust? Like, the calories don't matter. You're not going to run the next morning or work out. You can completely pig out. Wife's not home. Wife's nowhere, not even going to hang out with you. What pizza are you eating? And not what crust? What's like the go-to crust? Get your comments in, by the way. We'll start.
I mean, cheese crust, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Cheese-filled crust.
So,
Obviously.
but a normal crust.
Stick an old mozzarella stick in the crust and throw it in the oven. I mean, can't get better than that.
We got a couple comments here. Okay, so I will say this. We went and bought some like that homemade pizza, not homemade pizza dough, but like Publix sells like in their bakery. They've got like the dough that you can make. And we took mozzarella sticks, like just the regular, God knows how they're made mozzarella sticks, and did it. And it's not bad. It wasn't bad. So you're going like you're going cheese filled crust. I got to ask you now what the toppings are.
Pepperoni, sausage. Yeah, pepperoni and sausage.
That's a good one.
Canadian bacon, some ham.
Is there a true difference between Canadian bacon and American ham?
Couldn't tell you.
Apparently there is. Some people.
Couldn't tell you.
Uh,
Meat lovers. That's
meat
what
lovers.
we're all
Yeah.
about over here.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, that won't get clipped. Ralph, you kind of told me, but I don't think I asked you the toppings. Your go-to pizza, not brand,
Yeah.
but just your pizza. Like what kind of crust and what's on the pizza?
I'm a big just ale crust, just typical pizza crust. I like it crispy on the bottom. You know, I don't want like a soft pizza that's gonna flop over. And I'm going with a good Hawaiian pizza. Put some pineapple on it.
Oh my God.
I'm behind. Look,
It's
everyone
okay.
hate it if you want to, but unless you don't try it, if you've never tried it, you can't say you hate it.
It's not that I hate it. It's that I'm genuinely wondering if I tell you, hey, you're not buying it. The calories don't count. And it's a Friday night. You're about to hop on the PS5 or watch a movie. Your go-to pizza is Hawaiian.
Oh, I'm talking about my go-to.
I mean, how else did we form the question?
My fault. I was just going to do this anyway.
God, help us.
I'll just do buffalo chicken because the buffalo chicken pizza is just great.
Are you going buffalo sauce or the red sauce?
Just the buffalo sauce.
Dear God, you don't like that's an abomination to the Italians. They hate you now.
We're not in Italy. I'm in Georgia.
Well, that's because Ralph calls them Italians.
I definitely don't call them that.
What do you call them, Will?
Yeah, don't tell me. Will calls them.
There we go. Okay, now
Listen, I'm married into a family of Italians. I got to say it right, and I got to respect Italian cuisine.
Thanks, Walt. Thank you, Maxwell.
Stevie B's is the place, by the way, where
Okay, Matt,
Look, that place was the best when we were Little League.
And you know what? You got class credit because you got to go with your school. I don't know if they did that in the public school, but in the private school, they certainly did that, and where we could go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Talking about tax brackets. Here we go.
Yeah, privileged.
At Blackman Road, elementary, middle school.
Okay, for me, if you gave me any pizza in the world to eat, I'm going with I'm going pan crust. I like an airy pan crust. Jonesy's comment is wild. I like an airy pan crust that's got a nice crunch to it, but it's not super heavy. I don't want crazy amounts of dough. Now, look, you've been to Chicago. I've had like the Chicago style pizza. It's very good. Can probably only eat one slice though, like one piece because it's got so much.
That's why they serve it as like one square.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'm going pan pizza. I'm going 3 toppings: Italian sausage, pepperoni, and I'm a green bell peppers guy. I like them on the pizza. Now, there's a pizza place down here in Baton Rouge. Very good. They're not an ad, so I'm not shouting them out. They do have a nice thin crust and a bomb Alfredo sauce on the pizza, which I didn't think I'd like. My wife likes that,
Yeah, where have you been?
and it's good. Very, very good. The worst
Where
place
have
to
you
eat
been?
in Columbus,
Well,
Georgia, and thank
Too
God
bad
it's closed.
down.
It's closed, thank
bad.
God. And
No, so sad. Upsetting.
it's awful.
It's not.
Matt knows
Y'all
ball.
like Supreme Pizza? I
No.
can't. I
Look,
will eat a pizza with anything on it other than olives.
Exactly.
Be honest with you. I can't do black
1000%.
olives.
No olives, no sardines. If you're a psychopath, if you like sardines. Just want to throw that out there.
Just a meat and cheese guy.
CC's is 1,000 miles better than Stevie B's. I haven't eaten a Stevie B's in probably 20 plus years. I used to destroy that macaroni and cheese pizza from CC's when we would go after Little League games, which I'm sure we all had like parties for Little League baseball games over there. And
I want to give y'all a little thing. On Saturdays, when I used to drive a lot on Saturdays, my friends and I would find this the worst place for us all meet it for lunch, and CC's was a few times. So imagine in the summertime you're working in a hot truck and you go eat CC's pizza in the middle of the day and go continue to work.
It's brutal. I mean,
It was just kind of see how long we could suffer for it,
Yeah, that the gut health can't be good. That's for sure.
It's a rough day.
Let us know in the comments. What's your go-to pizza? Sooner Cowboys, you destroy the cinnamon rolls and the barbecue pizza at CC's. I always used to think that the brownies had crack on them.
Yeah, that's.
I thought that was, but I was in private school, so I didn't really know what drugs looked like until I got to high school, and that changed to where in the private school they get the real nice version. They get the good cut of drugs because they got all the money, mommy and daddy's money. God, I mean, am I wrong, Ralph? Also, how about the parties how about the parties they had in high school? I'm not going to the 10-year reunion. The parties they had in high school where they just dropped the key. The parents just took the keys in a bowl, like straight out of the Grinch, and said, "Y'all can stay here." And what are those people doing now?
Hey,
I don't know.
Don't say anything about your grade, please.
Yeah, we can't get into that. I plead the fifth. What in God's name? My record is 43 pizzas at Stevie B's. I hope it's pieces, not actual pizzas, because dear God. I remember taking the CC brownies home in bulk with napkins. This is crazy, okay? So we're adding a guy to the team. He's not going to podcast with us. Yeah,
there's big back, and then that's huge back.
That's the largest, the back of the largest right here.
There is. I mean, these comments are out of control.
This is great. 15 minutes of show, we haven't even talked about anything. But listen to me. So we're adding a guy to. He's going to be writing for us. He might end up getting some of the podcast aspect too, but he's an awesome guy. I went to Barry with him. He married someone from Columbus. Okay, and his now wife. We went to CC's she was one of my classes in high school. She brought me a brownie, okay? And the girl I was dating at the time got like super mad because she brought me like a brownie because I asked for it.
Shocker.
Yeah. Have fun with that 55-year-old guy. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Okay, so welcome in to the crowd.
I don't know the humor and the story behind this story because I was too poor to hang out with Bryce and Ralph in high school.
I think we stopped hanging. I mean, I don't think we stopped hanging out in Little League.
I think we did.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you go to different schools.
Oh, okay. Can we get back on track, please?
So, anyways, if you are just now tuning in, just go ahead and skip to the 14-minute, 35-second mark, where tonight we're talking a little bit of college football. 3 big storylines coming out of fall camp. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends here on the Crowded Booth as well. Okay, I don't know where I want to start here, because I know if we give the talking stick or the baton to Will, it's going to be it's going to be a 40-minute clip. Okay.
Should we let Will go on toward the end so he can have the most time left?
I will say this. I have gotten a lot of it out because I've rehearsed my lines to several people already today.
Including Pete?
Yeah, including Pete.
Okay.
So
Will, but here's the thing.
I've got an idea of what I'm going to say. It shouldn't be a rambling rant.
You need to completely cut off the comments because those will fire you up more.
Yeah, you're going to have to just.
So that's
they can't fire me up. I am in full agreement with the comments.
That is true. Okay, I'll go first.
Fired up because everybody thinks they're trolling me.
I'll go first. You, Ralph, and you and I will take about 10 minutes. Not us 10 minutes talking, but just 10 minutes on each topic. that'll get us to about the 35-minute mark where we can just discuss what's happening in CO, Alabama. So, all right. I'll start here, so you can go ahead and put mine up first. Here we go. You ready? I'm concerned about Florida's injury situation. Now, if you don't know what's going on, DJ Lagway was hurt to kind of begin camp. They had another big injury along their defensive line. Please correct me wrong. Was it Tyreek Sapp that got hurt? I could be completely wrong in this. It is Tyreek Sapp. Go ahead and look at that for me. It's one. They got two really good defensive linemen. Florida's injury situation, this is how I viewed Florida, guys. I mean, when we talked about maybe post-spring ball, and Will, you and I did those episodes, Florida was kind of like this dark horse contender that you kind of said, hey, they've got good talent at different spots. They've got Slaughter, who's All-American center. They've got different positions at the wide receiver spot, or guys at the wide receiver spot, to where you feel good about it. But this always felt like it was going to hinge on DJ Lagway, whether they're just going to be a 7-5, 8-4 team, or could he push them to 9-3, 10-2, and a dark horse playoff appearance. And then, and Ralph, am I right? Is it Tyreek Sapp that got hurt today?
I'm still looking. Sorry.
Oh,
it's taking longer than I thought it would.
There goes my monologue. I'll tell you here. Caleb Banks. So Caleb Banks. Just subscribe to On3, dude. All right, Caleb Banks gets hurt. Now, Banks and Sapp are very, very good along the defensive front. Here's my whole take with this. If DJ Lagway can't stay healthy, there's no Graham Mertz to re-enter, right? Like there's no high floor player to put in and say, we feel like we could be okay. This team, Florida and South Carolina, their success hinges so much on what happens at quarterback, because I don't think the talent around them is good enough to get where they want to go. It's why I left him out of the playoff when we went on Monday. And then obviously this injury to Caleb Banks is big. I mean, he dominated at times last year. So, Will, I'll go to you first with this. If the fact that DJ Lagway is not healthy and he's trying to get back to practice and all this kind of stuff, and he's gotten back to practice, but you just don't know. Like, I mean, they're not going to say he's not 100% or something like that, but you don't know going into that first game. We saw like their schedule, September, October is kind of a gauntlet. I mean, the depth of this team scares me. It's why a reason I don't have them being a playoff team.
Yeah, I mean, depth is going to hold them back. I mean, we called them a dark horse because they have, when healthy, a Heisman Trophy level quarterback in DJ Lagway. I think we saw enough flashes out of him last year to say that confidently. Yeah. That when he's healthy and when he's on, there's few quarterbacks better than him. And we've seen quarterbacks in the college game be able to elevate their teams far beyond what they would be capable of otherwise. So yeah, this is a problem. And you talk about Florida's depth. I mean, recruiting under Billy Napier has been up and down, and that's a big reason why we're concerned about the depth now, is they just don't have enough quality to make you feel confident that they are going to do really anything this year, and their schedule is ridiculously hard.
Yeah. I think, am I still muted? I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm not. Okay. Because I was reading something and I wanted to make sure I got this right. So Florida with Lagway at quarterback went on a 4-game win streak in the season last year. And that included wins against LSU, wins against Ole Miss, two teams that at the time Ole Miss was still vying for a playoff spot, at least in that large bid. And LSU mathematically somehow was still in the running, and that knocked them out. The thing with Lagway to me, and you hit the nail on the head, is he still has development aspect. That's why this fall camp, this was his first true fall camp as a starter, as QB1. This was his first true fall camp without a true competition, to where if he messed up, oh, well, we're going with the other guy. I fear for Florida in this situation. If Lagway's not 100%, it puts immense amount of pressure on other areas that you probably still had question marks about coming into the season. Lagway was kind of, and I'm not saying he's only a glue guy, but he's much like in Lenore Sellers in South Carolina. To me, he's the glue guy that helps create the optimism and the hope for both these fan bases and Florida's fan base of, hey, we got some question marks, but we think we got a dang good quarterback. We think we have a top 5 quarterback in the country. If you have that, you've got hope. If you have that, you think you can make the playoffs. So for me with Lagway, if that's serious, he's on track for a week 1 return, but then you have to wonder, I don't know, man. Then you have to kind of wonder about, well, what happens if he just gets nicked again? Like, comes up a little bit, gimpy on a play and comes up a little slow. Like, that to me is a big concern. And then obviously with the injury to Caleb Banks in the middle, I mean, that guy's a probable day 1, maybe day 2 pick for Florida. So Ralph, if you don't know the situation of Lagway and now you have one of your best defenders hurt, you don't know the situation with that, kind of concerning. Like, I'm not saying that it's not been a fun fall camp for Florida, I feel like.
No, and you're not wrong there. And I'm looking at the depth chart and who they got. We talk about their depth. It's a lot of young guys, really. But at quarterback, you do have 2 guys who played last year in Division I with Harrison Bailey, who was the future of Tennessee 8 years ago when he made it to high school or made it to college. And Aiden Warner, who I know who isn't great, but had some flashes of some pretty solid play last year as a transfer from Yale, I think. That's where he came from.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But
he
he's like a Florida legacy, like his dad went there. Yeah, something crazy.
He was a transfer last year, the freshman. He's a sophomore now. He's got some more time under his belt there. He wasn't even supposed to see the field last year at all. And, he had to step in the big moment against Georgia, and he threw some pretty good passes, but he was obviously nervous.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong because, you're going this year, you're putting all your, everything's into this one basket with DJ Lagway.
Yeah.
And he's been banged up for the last 2 weeks. Now you lose a defensive lineman. What's concerning is your strength and conditioning is not going great because injuries should be the last thing you have to worry about in fall camp. Because yes, you want guys to go hard. Yes, you want guys to hit, but you also want guys to make sure everyone stays upright. Everyone is, not trying to force injuries. Not forcing throws over the middle of the field where a safety's on crack your receiver in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
You want these guys to be able to make these plays so they know it's going to work in game situation. That's why you don't see a lot of ones going against ones. You see a lot of ones going against twos and twos going against ones. It's just to help out everyone else, from injuries, really. And I know people are like, well, why don't ones and ones go against each other? They do, but it's more of a light contact situation. That's almost every school these days. Now it's, I know Troy does it. They do a lot of ones and ones, but it's light contact.
Nick Saban did it a lot at Alabama.
Yeah. You want to stop having injuries from stupid plays in practice. And the worst injury you can have in practice is a non-contact injury where a receiver is trying to do too much or a running back is trying to do too much and hurts their knee, hurts their ankle, or does something stupid like that. So I don't know how he got hurt today. Contact, non-contact, slip, whatever. But they gotta monitor this better because this is getting out of hand.
Lagway's injury is reportedly a soft tissue injury, which then kind of makes you wonder. It's like one of those things that it just takes time. You're 2 weeks away from playing Merriweather School of the Blind if you're Florida to start the year. So the biggest thing I think is that you've got to make sure he's ready when they make the trip to Baton Rouge. Like he has to be 100% full go. If you can get him snaps with this group, that's awesome. If not, and I'll kind of end it here, you kind of have to wonder, like, you don't want him trying to build chemistry at a night game in Death Valley. Like, you don't want that. Now, I understand people say, well, hey, it's chemistry here, chemistry there. You've been building it all summer. That's great. You can't simulate a game atmosphere. So that's why those 2 games are really important leading up to LSU. I'm concerned a little bit about Florida. It's why I didn't have my playoff because I was worried about the depth. If Lagway's not 100%, then it's even a little bit more concerning. And then obviously the injury to Caleb Banks, something like you said, Ralph, you got to monitor. Okay, let's talk a little bit real quick, and then we got to give way to him with Ralph. We mentioned this a little bit on the call-in show on Tuesday. We didn't really get to go full in depth because, and we appreciate that, people called in. But Ty Simpson was named Alabama's quarterback this week. Ralph, I'll let you take this here. We mentioned a little bit. We didn't really go super in depth. So just kind of, this is a big storyline, right? Alabama was trying to find out who they wanted their quarterback to be. Ryan Grubb comes out and kind of the least shocking way possible is like, yeah, so Ty Simpson's quarterback 1, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's the guy that Alabama's going to look to try to lead what I think is a pretty talented offense. But we'll see, obviously. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, if you're Alabama, if you're a fan of Alabama, this is the one guy you probably wanted to be quarterback this year, because of the sheer fact that he's been here since 2022. He's been behind everybody else for the last 3 years. Always been a backup. Really hasn't had a lot of playing options because they, the last 2 years has been kind of up and down offensively. They've had the weapons and they've had the talent. Not a lot of games to get to play in, though. So there's not much video on him. You go back to 2023 when they went down to South Florida and Nick Saban's last year, and then they had a struggle game. They had benched Milroe before the game. Well, they didn't really bench him, kind of limited the plays for him and let, I think Ty Simpson played a little bit, and they had the quarterback from Notre Dame that played lacrosse also played quarterback in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Tyler Buckner.
Thank you, Will.
Former lacrosse star.
Yeah, former lacrosse star. Went back to Notre Dame, I'm pretty sure, to go play lacrosse.
Yeah. He's back on the football team now, but yes.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He won't play. But you haven't seen a lot of Ty Simpson. Now, he stayed and waited this entire time to have this position. When they asked him in high school, why did you go to Alabama? He goes, I want to go the Mac Jones route. Wait my time, get my chance, and help this team win. A former 5-star.
And then be terrible in the NFL? I mean,
man, that's what he said.
Bold.
This is also back in 2022. So, former 5-star quarterback out of Martin, Tennessee, really highly wanted by everybody in the country, was an Elite 11, quarterback, one of the top ones in the class. Alabama needed somebody this year who could help them throw it again. Milroe was great with running the ball last 2 seasons. Obviously, you saw it in some games where he just took off and made the game over himself and running the game. Bryce knows very well.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of games they could have won some games if they had the passing game behind them. I say that because you look at that Vanderbilt game. I shouldn't use the Vanderbilt game because they just played bad defensively. The Tennessee game. A lot of those throws on Milroe were just so bad that it cost them to lose the game. A quarterback who has a good arm, has a chance to sit back in the pocket and make those throws, they win that game against Tennessee, in my opinion, last year. Ty Simpson beats out Austin Mack for the QB1 and possibly, Keelan Russell.
Yeah.
I mean, there's names out there that had him for a chance for the job, but that Grubbs has been wanting Ty Simpson all year. That he would say, I think he said after spring camp, if I had a number one, it'd be Ty Simpson. I think they've fallen behind him all year long. I think he's their quarterback for the season. This is the guy Alabama's been wanting to play. Hasn't wanted to transfer out, focus on this team. He knows this offense very well. And I think the Boars got full trust in them. I mean, I know they had a quarterback battle, but I really think that Ty Simpson's had it won since spring.
So, what do we think Ty Simpson has to be? This is going to be my spiel, and I'll go over to Will on this. I think you make some great points. I think that when you look at social media, look at the boards, what Alabama fans say he has to be, and you kind of hinted at it there, could he just be Mac Jones? Y'all, Mac Jones had a ridiculous supporting cast that Alabama. And Alabama's wide receiver room is good. That wide receiver room is one of the best we've seen in 20 years. Like, it's probably 2019 LSU, 2020 Alabama was like, just in terms of what you had on the field, like, ridiculous.
With 3 NFL star receivers? Well, no, sorry, not 3 anymore.
Subtle, but I get you there. No, but Mac Jones threw for 4,500 yards. I don't think Ty Simpson is Mac Jones. Here's kind of what I think. I'm going to go a little further to a quarterback that played at Alabama, won a national title. I'm going to go, I think he's more Jake Coker. I think he's a Jake Coker, Blake Sims type of player. He has to be very efficient. Because here's the thing, and maybe I'm helping Will in what he's going to say here, because I can see the teeth clenched when we talk about this. There's a reason last year, because people who say, well, he fits the system better. Why did they choose Milroe last year to be the quarterback then? Was he just not ready? Okay, but he's been there since 2022. So if he fits better schematically, why didn't the devil's advocate would tell you, why did they choose Milroe to be the guy? And why did they stick with Milroe in those tough situations like you talked about? Now, there might be an instance of, I don't want to say it just is what it is, like whatever. The second part of this is he's not going to be able to be bailed out by what Jalen Milroe could do, and that was run like a gazelle. Like he's not going to be able to be bailed out like that. Can he move? Yeah, he can't move like that. I mean, I think we can all sit here and say, and Will's been standing on business saying this for 2 years, Jalen Milroe would make an elite running back at the college football level. He borderline was that kind of already, especially in the game against LSU. So my whole point with this is I think he can be good. I think the Alabama fans telling you that he's going to be Mac Jones are asinine. I think that's crazy. You're hoping way too much. I think he's more of a Jake Coker type. Now, the problem with that, and I'll give it to Will, who did Jake Coker have in the backfield that year that he could hand off to 30 times a game?
Derrick Henry.
There is no disrespect to the guys that Alabama has in their room. I think it's a decent room. There's no
Jam
Heisman
Miller.
Trophy.
Talking about the dude on
NFL
steroids,
stalwart.
Jam Miller.
Have you seen
Guy
that?
taking
picture, Bryce?
HGH,
Yeah, I've seen it. Let me finish the
drinking
point.
that deer antler spray.
There's no prolific running back in terms of like what that is. So what does that tell me? He's got to be somewhere in between what Mac Jones was and Jake Coker. He's got to be able to create plays, something that Coker kind of did but wasn't elite at. But he's not Milroe to where he's so creative you're playing backyard football. He has to be efficient because, hear me, and I don't know if Will's going to disagree, they have weapons on the outside. Like they've got some weapons on the outside. The offensive line is not – they're a pretty good offensive line. If he takes care of the football and plays point guard, and I use that analogy a lot, Alabama should be okay. But this idea that he's going to walk in here and be, well, he was Mac Jones. We kind of forget how, whether you want to think Mac Jones was really good in college or a product of the system, whatever, 4,500 yards, you don't just luck into that. Like, I think Simpson can be a good player, but I would pump the brakes on the Alabama juice and hype of where they think he's going to come in there and be some prolific guy. I think he's the definition of a bridge quarterback to whoever's next. I think it's Keelan Russell of this DeBoer era. So, Will, your thoughts?
Well, got a couple things. I don't think Ty Simpson being the starting quarterback at Alabama worries anybody on Alabama's schedule. This is a guy. Here's a guy. You'll be hearing that a lot in the next couple of weeks.
Bryce used that today, by the way.
That lost a quarterback battle under two different staffs. And now, who knows how many offensive coordinators? 3, 4 offensive coordinators. Didn't think he was a guy, and now he's kind of the guy just because of seniority. And, you know, if he wants to be Mac Jones, I'm cool with that. Mac Jones couldn't beat Auburn. Or didn't beat Auburn. I think he threw what, 2 pick sixes, 3 pick sixes, 2 pick sixes against Auburn. But no, I mean, the fact that he's been there 4 years and he's just now going to be the starting quarterback and get reps, I think tells you all you need to know about this guy. Sure, he was highly rated coming out of high school. There's a ton of guys highly rated coming out of high school. It could simply be a case of it hasn't clicked for him yet. Maybe that is the truth that he's a better fit for this offense. I mean, we'll have to see. But, you know, with the guys behind him, Austin Mack, who Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb recruited to Washington.
Yeah.
And then Keelan Russell behind him, who everybody knows the potential. And the few videos coming out of fall camp about Keelan Russell, that guy's going to be starting quarterback for Alabama, if not this year, next year.
Oh, he's so
running,
good.
throwing. He's a natural. He's I think going to be a really, really good college quarterback. So we'll see. Come the end of the season, I would not be surprised if Ty Simpson is unseated as Alabama's starting quarterback.
There you go. You know, fellas, when you look at being unseated, typically you get out of your seat because you're being bothered by bugs, and All Natural BS can take care of that for you, where you can still stay in your seat. Listen, it's All Natural bug spray that really, really works. Make sure you check them out, providing effective chemical-free solutions for your home, garden, patio, wherever it is. Listen, it's almost tailgate season. Even here in the South, where it's going to be absolutely brutal that first weekend in August or September. Make sure you check out our friends so you can be decked out and you don't have to worry about it. The food, the kids, anything like that. You can go ahead and spray this on yourself, around the tailgate, wherever it is, and you can take care of yourself and your family too. So make sure you check out All Natural Bug Spray. It really works. Use code TCB15 for 15% off your order today. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit here about.
I want to know what's wrong with this, Dr. Bob. What's wrong with this?
Will owns it at least. You know what I mean? He's not.
What's wrong
he's not
with it?
afraid.
We can't have opinions.
Well, and there's this too. So,
tell you what, Ralph was one of the most feared hitters on the Yankees at Northern.
Because Ralph was 6'3", 215 when he was 8.
Well,
You're playing b-ball.
12. Okay.
You're playing b-ball, and Ralph's hitting a ball 500 miles off the back
Look,
for 30 feet away from the batter.
I am 12 years old in this picture. This is a ball. Now, the reason
I'm pretty sure that's on the b-ball field.
Yeah,
That's the b-ball field.
Yeah, it is because we had to play a makeup game because it rained, and they had
Ralph
made us play on the b-ball field.
terrifying.
I hit
Terrifying
3
to
home
play.
runs in that game.
Because Ralph, it was a
They were all
toothpick in your
routine
hand.
pop flies.
You were using a green Anderson Texzilla that was dented in so much that it made the ball go further.
I'm glad you remember that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you had daggum half the kids having to use Tiger Bomb because the coaching staff was trying to break their arms, dude.
I'll tell you this.
Y'all remember Tiger Bomb?
Yeah. My dad had to buy my coach at the end of the year a new bucket of baseballs because at practice I would hit some for home runs.
That's a weird flex. All right. Great conversation happening in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe. All right, Will. Here we go.
Sit back and relax and watch the flames go.
Now, do you want me to pull up some clips? Because I can do that.
He's got something.
I've got them ready. I've got them ready.
Okay. Oh, you got them ready. All right. So here we go.
Yep. So
Auburn's play calling system is what I put. I don't think it's much of a system, but your thoughts.
This is not what I wanted it to say. And
I'll change it. What you wanted to say.
I'll change it.
We're going to get a little dicey for this show with what I wanted to say. Who in the hell is calling plays for Auburn? That's what it should say.
Okay.
So what started all this was this tweet from Justin Hokanson, Auburn team reporter for On3, auburnsports.com. Tuesday, the media got to speak with some of the coaches. And he says here, I'll read it out for people listening on podcast. Says, since we spoke with Derek Nix, offensive coordinator, and Kent Austin, quarterbacks coach, yesterday, just to reiterate, Derek Nix handles first down strategy / play calling. Austin handles third down strategy / play calling. And as Nick said of Hugh Freeze, quote, head coach has the authority to overrule anything we say or do, unquote. How often does Freeze overrule? Nick said, quote, it depends on how the game is going, but he's highly involved. To me, he's an outstanding play caller, and I've learned everything from him. Okay, so my issue with that, well, here we go. You're muted. Nobody knows what you said.
Yeah.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
Hey, breathe.
Number one, it's like I'm like a broken record because I feel like I say this every day. Anytime there's media availability, these words come out of my mouth. These guys need more and better media training. None of what he said puts confidence in any Auburn fan. None. Zero whatsoever. It makes it sound like it's a 3-ring circus out here. You got the offensive coordinator is going to call plays on first down. The head coach is going to call plays on second down. Maybe. We guess. We don't know. The quarterback coach is going to call plays on third down. How in the world? You got 3 different play callers. There's too many cooks in the kitchen here. And, you know, I'll throw up the clip of Hugh Freeze today at practice. He was asked to clarify, and it doesn't put in a lot of confidence to me either with what he says. But, I mean, what are we going to do on second down? Are they trying to generate revenue? Are they going to auction it off on the NIL collective to let fans call plays on second down? I mean, what are we throwing away second? Are we going to take a knee on every second down? What are we doing? Just does not address second down at all. I don't get it. So let's hear Freeze. And this was posted by somebody named Max Cohen. Don't know this guy. But obviously, a couple of videos. So let's just sit back and listen.
Derek Nix is the offensive coordinator, and he does all planning, scripting, in charge of the game plan. But man, there's no staff that is not a collaboration on the plan. And I offensively or defensively reserve the right to say on the call sheet, I don't really like that one right here. But he does a great job for us. Kent kind of leads the third down plan. But other than that, Nick's kind of leads the charge and has the play calling duties, with me reserving the right to say, hey, I go over on defense and during the when we're on defense to do head coaching duties and do the same thing there and say, I think you ought to give me a hole player here. Or I don't tell DJ a whole lot, but there's times I can see what I think offenses are doing, and I say, hey, now I think we need to cloud this. But that's the way it'll be this year. And while I'm doing that, they're the offensive guys led by Nix are talking about the next series and what we should do. And usually there's another TV timeout or something, so I have time to get back on and say, all right, what are y'all thinking? Yes, I like all of that.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yes.
I want to ask you. So I tweeted out, I guess it was yesterday. I quote tweeted, I think, Hoke's tweet. And I said, I'm not trying to troll here. Is there actually, is there actual proof that works? What is the upside of doing that? I understand collaborative effort. Everybody works together on building the game plan. But in terms of the in-game execution, that seems like a jumbled mess. I don't have a problem with you on Thursday night going through, hey, you like this, we like this, offering opinions. My question isn't, I don't even know how this works. Like the actual practical implementation of this. If you don't have a TV timeout, what are you doing? You're going to get 15 false starts a game. I don't understand what the
delay games.
I don't know. I just don't understand the logic of how you would even do this.
Yeah. So, everything that Hugh Freeze says is correct, and I understand and I agree with. As the head coach, yes, you have every right to step in because at the end of the day, it's on the head coach. It's on him as the head coach. But he could have handled this so much better. He could have said, okay, here's how it works. Either he could have said, I'm the play caller, which just about everybody believes he should be the play caller. Yeah. Because if he can't get it right this year on the field, he's probably going to be packing his bags. He's going to get a hefty buyout. Maybe the buyout's too big. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe that's Auburn's problem. Auburn offers too big of buyouts and the coaches don't care. But he could have just quelled a lot of stress and concern as we're 15 days out from kicking off as Auburn plays on Friday night, saying, here's the deal. Derek Nix, he handles game playing for first downs. Ken Austin, he's my quarterback coach, knows passing game in and out, knows our passing scheme in and out. He handles a lot of third down game planning strategy because we're probably going to throw it more on third downs. That's all he has to do. But he made it sound like an even bigger jumbled mess. He should have said, I'm the play caller, or say Derek Nix is a play caller. Define that. Say it point blank. Make it black and white. But just, it's a jumbled mess. I swear, anytime a microphone is put in his face, he puts his foot in his mouth and he causes stress. He causes this in me to just lose it and get stressed and terrified of what's going to happen. I've said it all week. I've seen this script before. Auburn sounds like it's going to have a great defense. Top 20, top 30 defense. The offense is going to find a way. Saw it year after year with Gus Malzahn. The offense find a way to shoot itself in the foot and not score points and keep the defense out on the field too long. When did I make the first score prediction for Baylor? Was it probably earlier this week?
Yeah,
Baylor
last week or
to beat Auburn 17-6 because Auburn's not going to be able to score points.
Well, you also updated that score.
You did update
yesterday.
I did update it because of Baylor's uniform.
Because of the helmet.
Baylor's bringing back their gold chrome helmets. It's what I say, 27-6. I think.
Yeah.
27-6.
Yeah.
So it's like everything that they say just makes me feel worse and worse about the season.
Well, let me ask you this: if okay, so what you say, I agree, is true. Do you think it's just an inability to effectively communicate with the media, or is this really
hope
what's happening inside the building?
My hope is it's got to be just an
It's
inability
not good
to
with the media, just not really good. Yeah,
the whole offensive brain trust that is Hugh Freeze, Derek Nix, and Ken Austin. Those three can't get on the same page with how to talk to the media, or
which
they
is a
don't have
problem.
the media training. It's a problem. The defensive assistants, oh my gosh, they spoke to some of the defensive coaches. They talked to DJ Durkin, some of the position coaches. Everything they said, it makes me think that Auburn's going to have a top 10 defense. And I think it comes down to communication.
So I want to parlay this into kind of the volume 2 of the Auburn conversation. Jackson Arnold had a bad read today, whatever it was, in a 7-on-7, I guess it was. Hugh Freeze throws the visor, does his best Steve Spurrier, imitation. Frustrated, talks about how you have to execute. Well, I don't follow Auburn as closely as you do, and that right there made me scared. Because that right
Had
there
the
was
opposite
like,
effect on me.
okay, because I'll
Based
just say that right there felt like, oh God, they got another quarterback that can't execute.
Based off the last 2 years and the first 2 years of Hugh Freeze. Now he could have been doing this already, right? It just hadn't been caught on camera. Yeah, hadn't seen it on camera. Nothing. There's a fire there. There's a sense of urgency that, like, year 3, we have to be better on the field. Last year was not good enough. Year 1 was not good enough, and he pretty much got a pass because the roster he inherited was
Awful.
bottom 3 in the SEC.
Yeah.
And the talent is there, the depth is there on both sides of the ball. I mean, we're talk about Auburn's offensive line is the best that it's been in 10 or 15 years. And there's depth. There's 6 guys that could start in the SEC on that offensive line, which is what all the so-called experts are saying. It's a sense of urgency. It's having a quarterback that he believes in. And we texted a little bit about this earlier. It's like, and I think he kind of mentioned that he said that a little bit in his media availability after practice was having total trust in the guy. Ken Austin kind of said similar things the other day, talking about, essentially saying that Auburn, they have a quarterback room, all 3 guys that they really trust, even Deuce Knight, even though he's a true freshman. But it raises a question to me is, if the last guy wasn't good enough, you didn't have trust in him, why did you put him out there? And how little trust did you have in the guys behind him?
None.
Which is even more concerning. So, like, sure, yeah, you missed on him. You missed on Peyton Thorne. If that's what that means, okay, sure, you missed on him. And Jackson Arnold has more potential than any quarterback. Maybe has more than Deuce Knight, maybe not. That Hugh Freeze has had at Auburn, and there's a sense of urgency, and I think he knows that Arnold can do better, and he's going to have to do better if he wants to be the starting quarterback, and if Auburn wants to have a successful season, win more games. But the talk about the other guy, Ashton Daniels, has been really, really good. So that too, I think Freeze wants Arnold to be the quarterback, but he's like, I got this guy behind you.
Who's taking a snap at the college level, which is imperative of why you brought him in.
Being there in spring for a few practices, you didn't see this out of Hugh because a lot of this was kind of like, putting this information into Jackson Arnold's head. He's got to learn it. He's got to see it in his own eyes. No reason to kind of get in his face for messing up on plays he's learning right now.
Install.
Yeah, it's really, we were there like the first, second week of practice, and the few mistakes he makes they're bad mistakes, but like the next pass is the same play, make this right read, good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But now, Will, you're right. I like the passion, but you also has to be a little nervous because if he's making this decision and we're, like I said, 15 days out from game day, you have to be concerned in a certain aspect. Like, okay, he's been in college for 3 years. You
Yep.
know, he's got to know something here. You have got to learn RPO. You ran RPO at Oklahoma. You're running RPO here. You should know it by now. At
And
least.
that clip that got him fired up, that play, that was an awful read. That guy is wide open. I mean, this was a goal to go situation, throwing I think it was a little zig route.
Yeah.
I don't know who the receiver was, but man,
I
he
think it was
was
Singleton.
or a slant route or a zig route, just quick hitter. When you're in goal to go, if you have a yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, you're wide open in goal to go.
Yeah.
You got to get the ball out and get it to your receiver. And as good of a receiver room as Auburn has, if the reason why Auburn can't have 6 is because the quarterback won't get rid of the ball, it's not because of the receivers and not because he shouldn't have trust in the receivers and there's no confidence in the receivers to make a play, as it has been the last couple of years, outside of 1 or 2 guys.
I saw, Deuce Knight made a lot of mistakes in spring, and we've seen some passes online on Twitter and stuff that, makes him look good. But, the entire time we were there, Ashton Daniels was on campus. He couldn't practice because he wasn't technically fully transferred in yet, but he was engaged in the offense, engaged in helping Jackson Arnold, engaged in helping Deuce Knight a lot. I mean, every time Deuce Knight threw a ball and was pulled out of that certain practice, Ashton Daniels was right behind him, speaking to him, right in his ear, like, hey, when you're reading this, he's talking about, like Bryce said, he's played college snaps. I mean, he wasn't great at Stanford, but he's seen a lot of football.
I didn't watch a ton of Stanford games, Ralph. You may have been at my house that week. YouTube TV on the quad box, Stanford at Notre Dame. That was in one of the boxes, and we kind of snuck a peek in. And that game, I thought, Ashton Daniels, he's shown a little bit that he can play. I mean,
he
Notre Dame is running Stanford off the field, but he looks like he can play a little bit.
Well, I said, I'll take myself on this one. I did put something on Stanford plus like 48.5, and they got beat like 49-0, I think, or something like that. Because I did believe in Ashton Daniels to score 1 touchdown or whatever the score was, and he took a lot of shots in college. They didn't have a great offensive line. The run game wasn't terrific. He had 1 wide receiver to ever throw to, and that was Alec Ayumanor, who now plays for the Titans and will be a superstar in the NFL, I think. You go back to that game against Colorado 2 years ago when he had like 200 yards receiving and like 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, that was Ashton Daniels in college. He was a good quarterback. He just was not surrounded by a lot of talent. And he's playing, his former high school's playing right now, and I'm watching clips over here, and they keep talking about they throw Ashton Daniels' name up every once in a while, at Auburn now. So.
My last question, Will, on this, and we can go away. That sounded weird. Do you feel like that the leash? Okay. The leash on Peyton Thorne last year was way too long because you didn't have confidence in what you had behind him. Fair? That's we could say that. We believe that, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we're led to believe, at least. Because of whatever. And then you had all those guys transfer out. Now you've compiled a quarterback room that has, by all makings, a former Gatorade Player of the Year in terms of his state, and Jackson Arnold, who, regardless, we're not saying it's going to make him the best SEC quarterback. It's hard to really gauge last year because of the situation he was in at Oklahoma. Doesn't mean that he gets away with making decisions, but it was a bad setup. So you've got a guy that has talent. You can't deny that. And Hugh has been saying that, and he said this, and I remember down in Mobile when he was interviewed about why he brought Jackson Arnold in. The kid has talent. So to your point of what you said that Hugh has said recently, it makes sense of why he has confidence in him. The second part of this is, like what I just said, you have a guy who kind of understands his role, but has taken legitimate snaps in Power 4 games. That is very, very rare. Like, I will say this, and I'm not comparing the quarterback situation, so please pump the brakes on this. It is very similar to when I first came down here, and you had a guy that you said, okay, here's our starter in Jaden Daniels, and we've got a guy in Garrett Nussmeier that has taken some Power 4 snaps. It is very rare to have that in your quarterback room. And then you have a guy who's the highly talented freshman in Deuce Knight. My question being, do you think that there will be a willingness if they stumble out of the gates, or if week one just looks terrible and it doesn't, and they don't improve or impress enough against Ball State and South Alabama, and you're rolling into, is that Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Okay, you're rolling into Norman. Does Ashton Daniels, does he have a legitimate chance to start that game? How big is that leash, you feel like, on or how long is that leash on Jackson Arnold?
I feel like it better at least be talked about quite a bit. I mean, there has to be a sense of urgency. I mean, if Auburn can't turn a corner and like we've talked about for like a year, proof of concept, if they can't show that, then what are we doing? With the state of college football, you cannot sit around and wait if you're a program like Auburn.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think you can sit around and wait, because you'll get left behind. And it's even harder now to climb back up that mountain.
That leash needs to be shorter than it was last year with Peyton Thorne. That's really
Oh, it has to be. If not, what was the point of
It's
bringing in
so
Ashton
interesting,
Daniels?
though.
Yeah.
I say it was so interesting because Thorne gets benched early in the year, and
Against New
Hank
Mexico.
Brown starts against New Mexico, right?
Yeah, New Mexico.
Time out. Who's the head coach of the Cowboys? Schottenheimer?
Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer.
That's a Fatan Bata starting in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party situation. No disrespect to Hank Brown, but that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, and then pull him at halftime, and then don't give him another snap the rest of the year. I mean, just gotta call a spade a spade. Hugh Freeze ruined Hank Brown last year. Hank Brown had every reason in the world to transfer.
Where did he go?
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. That's right.
He's been a third string quarterback there, probably.
Wow.
Because they got the kid from South Dakota.
Gronowski.
State. Well
And it makes me wonder, like, I know there's more to the story with Walker White and Baylor.
Yeah.
He's closer to home in Arkansas, but I mean, did this staff have zero trust in him to do anything, to even run? Because he's a good runner. Because he didn't get a shot.
Well, his one run, he did fumble.
That's true. He did have one run and fumble. That's right.
I don't remember what game it was, Will, but I mean,
I don't remember, but I don't remember either. But I remember he fumbled.
No, it wasn't Georgia. It was a home game. I remember that. But I go back. I agree with that last year game against New Mexico. New Mexico State, whoever it was, when Hank Brown started, he lit it up in the first half. He really had a great first half. And then Peyton Thorne's on the sideline watching the game, and you're thinking he's got to feel like this has got to be I got to play better. I got to be better. And then the following week, I think he went out there and just played absolutely horrendous.
It was awful.
Or was that after was the next week the Kentucky game when they just ran Jarquez into the ground, because that's what they should have done all year long?
No, that was later in the year, because I've been saying for weeks, why is Auburn not running the ball? Why is Auburn not running the ball?
All right. We could talk about this for 15 years. I want to get this last question. Let's get out of here. The COI is going to hand down the penalties against Michigan tomorrow. Any thoughts on what will happen? I will say this. If the stupidest thing that people do in sports is vacate wins and vacate championships. Everybody and their mother knows who won the championship, and you remember watching the games. Taking it away from them doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I want to see actual recruiting restrictions, like you can only sign this amount of class. Now with the portal, you can really get creative with it, right? Hey, you can only sign 8 guys out of the portal or 7 guys out of the portal because they cheated. Like they did. It's obvious that they did it. Whatever.
There's a documentary on it.
Yeah, there's a whole, check out and get your Netflix subscription right now.
Yep.
What do you guys think it'll be? Just in real quick in a vacuum. Like I think that this needs to be an example. Like we need to make an example.
I said it earlier, and I read one of the comments under the tweet. This would be the biggest limp hand discipline you'll ever see in your life.
Limp
For
wrist.
a teenager, limp hand, limp wrist, anything. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be knock of 10 scholarships, and you're gonna forfeit the postseason ban. You're gonna put 2 year postseason ban, and that's it.
But you know what? I just thought about this, Ralph. Taking away scholarships doesn't matter because you can just supplement it with NIL to pay for kids.
Nope.
Bowl ban, postseason ban. How about that? How about
That's
they
a
get a
good
How about they get a
two-year
1-year postseason ban or 2-year postseason
And
ban?
Will say it.
And Bryce Underwood comes back to Baton Rouge.
Nope. Will say it. You said earlier today. What's it matter? You're not gonna make the postseason anyway.
Oh yeah.
No,
Are
but
they
I mean,
gonna make?
think
Are
about
they,
it.
what are they going to do? They going to make the playoff? I don't think so.
No,
Well,
but here's
it'd
the
be a
thing:
bowl ban.
if you give them a postseason ban in general, 2-year postseason ban,
That's what I think. 2-year.
that's
postseason.
more detrimental than scholarships because kids are going to leave because there's no chance to compete for a title.
Exactly.
That's what
And
I would
Jim
do.
Harbaugh will probably.
Be the head coach in 3 years when he gets fired from the Chargers.
Sharon Moore will cry about it.
No, I doubt. I can't see the NCAA banning a coach like a lifetime ban, but he'll. And I don't know what they'll do because he's in the NFL. I mean, there'll be something for him. I mean,
Can Moore be suspended for the year because he was on the staff?
Yeah, but they'll make a martyr out of him. They've already shown to do that with Harbaugh.
Well, that was during the season though, and that was a little different.
Yeah, but he
now
didn't die. He didn't go Eloy Jimenez on us. No, and this is the thing. Not about the NCAA is irrelevant. Every team does this kind of stuff. Very true. But what does the NCAA always also do? They like to
Limp-wristed.
No, they like to zero in on one specific thing and try to make an example out of it, and it doesn't make any sense. Here's your chance to actually make an example out of something that matters, not something completely stupid. I don't know, but I hope to see some type of thing because I get every single team does it. All of our favorite teams probably do it to a certain extent.
There's a legal way to do it.
There's a legal way to do it. Yeah, what he did, standing on the sideline at a Central Michigan game to go
And
pick up calls is not a
and
legal.
going and giving signals to other teams that are not on your schedule, giving signals to anybody shouldn't be allowed.
Anyone can stand on the sideline and see, oh, they're doing this. That's a screenplay. 3 plays later, they see the same thing. They're yelling screen. That's legal. Everyone does it. We were doing it in high school.
There has been an
people doing baseball.
enormous overreaction to stealing signs. Like we saw it with the Houston Astros in baseball, Michigan. Now, like all the flag that major league players are getting, little leaguers are getting for standing on second base and seeing the sign or hearing the sign and pointing a certain way, doing something to give the sign. How is that cheating? That's not cheating, in my opinion. I mean, and then
you're holding the extra bat, but hey,
I don't even think so. Be better at hiding your signs. But anyway, in baseball, it's so stupid because, they've got video on everybody, and in between at bats, they're all watching the pitcher on an iPad. So if a guy if he's tipping his pitches, you'll see it on video.
What was the guy in the major league who got caught the other night? They're saying he was tipping
pitcher for the Padres.
He was tipping it so bad that they saw like where he was when he was in the stands and it was a breaking ball or fastball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a professional pitcher. Get better at that. Let's be honest here.
Stupid. All right, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Georgia Tech does have one. Do we know who it is?
Head ball coach.
Brent Key.
It'll be interesting. Will Manis, Ralph Lair, my name is Bryce Koon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will catch you again on Monday evening where, fellas, week 0 is upon us. I'm ready to talk about some actual games, and Best Bets is back.
Has the Kansas State equipment truck made it over the ocean yet?
They were driving.
Has it made it to the
Has it made it to the Kansas State line yet?
That's what we need to know. That's the real question.
That's what we need to see. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you next time here on the Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.